This is the second annual Global Read-a-Thon of the Center for Studies on Africa and its Diaspora, coming to you live from Georgia State University in Atlanta. Prepare for an epic journey as we celebrate Black History Month and dare to crown the greatest book of all time. Here is our host, former CNN anchor and White House correspondent, Suzanne Malveaux.
My name is Kennedy Ajayohene, graduate student in communications at GSU. I'll be reading from The Modern African American Political Thought Reader, edited by Angela Jones. And I'll be taking a passage from Anna Julia Cooper. Anna Julia Cooper is one of the few African American women in the first 20th century to attain a PhD. Even though she was educated, she didn't limit her activism in the classroom. She was outspoken and she advocated for women empowerment through education.
Well, that student's GOAT choice is a perfect setup for our next guest. We are talking about Dr. Stephanie Evans. She is a professor of Black Women's Studies at GSU. She is also an editor of the Black Women's Wellness book series at Cine Press, and has written 3 books. She's here to tell us more. Dr. Evans, welcome. And that's your favorite author as well. You brought your GOAT.
Thank you so much. It is so exciting to be here. I love books. I dream books, I eat books, I live for books. This particular book changed my life. Anna Julia Cooper, what we just heard, womanhood and the concept of regeneration. She talks about we need to look back and look forward for hope and faith. And this particular essay from Anna Julia Cooper changed my life. This is a voice from the South by a Black woman of the South, written in 1892, a good decade, mind you, before Du Bois's Souls of Black Folk. Now, I'm not trying to start anything. I love Dr. Du Bois, I do. But this is written by a scholar, Anna Julia Cooper, who was born enslaved and lived to be 105 and a half, an educator for 70 years. And this book of essays is a series that talks about what it means to be a woman and what it means to be Black. This is the origins of what we call intersectionality. And this essay, The Higher Education of Women, changed everything that I thought I knew about myself or what I could do as a Black woman. The Higher Education of Women. I grant you that intellectual development with the self-reliance and capacity for earning a livelihood which it gives renders women less dependent on the marriage relation for physical support, which, by the way, does not always accompany it. Neither is she compelled to look to sexual love as the one sensation capable of giving tone and relish, movement and vim to the life she leads. Her horizon is extended. And this was one of the books that made me see myself as an intellectual, that it is possible for Black women, and the title is A Voice from the South by a Black woman of the South. So here we have identity, but we also have region. And the Higher Education of Women made me see myself as an intellectual and changed the entire course of my life.
You're actually a powerhouse and perhaps a GOAT for next year.
Oh, I have many more books to write before I can contend with some of these people on this file.
Yes, I love your work when you talk about Black women yoga history and the ivory tower and travel. It just really is so expansive and really such a contribution to the work. So thank you so much for being here and for sharing that very significant passage.
Thank you. This is the beginning of not just envisioning myself as an intellectual, but a motivation to write. I think, where would I be? Where would any of us be if these people didn't write? So I feel like I'm writing the books about the history of Black women in higher education and wellness traditions, not for myself or even for this generation, but to continue to offer what Anna Julia Cooper and the others have offered us, where people can read 100 and 200 years later. So I'm really writing as an embodiment of our concept of regeneration, where we look back, we look inward, and we look forward, and we write to connect humanity over time.
Dr. Evans, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you.